Welcome back, YouTube. Today we want to talk about an Alvarez Yairi DY53. Not going to play a lot. We'll play a little bit. We'll get that out of the way here in a second, or some of it out of the way. But really, man, this guitar is kind of like one of those oddballs. And I seem to be a glutton for punishment, or have an affinity for buying guitars, and I'm gonna have to do some extensive research just to find out the basic information of what's going on with this guitar. So like, all started. Let's do a little bit of playing. Let's do a little playing first. I'm not gonna play any specific songs. I just want to like do some patterns, let some stuff ring out. What I really like about this guitar is the resonance. Yairis seem to have the resonance, a natural reverb, if you will, that you don't really find in Western guitars all that often. I haven't found it in a Taylor. I haven't found it in Martins. I've owned several Martins, some American, some Mexican, but I've never found this type of tone, which may be a quality or may be a nuisance, depending on what you're looking for. I like to have a little bit of variety, but if I'm playing something I want some ambience in, this is a guitar that I pick up. Like, just some... I can't quite explain it. It's just different than what I'm used to in other guitars. I find the same quality in Takamine, and maybe it's because, like, Japanese artisan type of guitars, they take them a little bit, they take their time with them. They make them a little slower, they tune them up. And what I mean by that, like, soundboards like 2.2 millimeters on this guitar, whereas like the last Yairi I had was 2.4. So they remove material until they find the sweet spot on like tapping and trying to find the tone that you're looking for. And like, if you watch a lot of YouTube, you'll probably notice that the guys over there at Driftwood Guitars do that too. And like, they go into like defending Martin for not being able to do that because they don't. They sell too many guitars. Like, they sell too many guitars to be able to take that kind of time and be able to tune them all. So they find a sweet spot, and like, so that's why if you pick up 10 Martins, they don't all have the same tonal quality. It's just 3.3 or 3.4 millimeters, whatever they happen to be running them at off the planer. That might be the sweet spot for 3 out of 10 of their guitars, but like, Alvarez has been doing that for years. So like, not Alvarez, Yairi's been doing that for years. They are two separate entities. Like, and that's it's rare. Like, an American company, Alvarez, which was named after a Spanish classical guitar maker, goes to Japan, develops a relationship with Kazou Yairi, asks Kazou Yairi, and this is in 1965, like, hey man, you want to make our guitars for us? They reach some sort of agreement, but like, it's not all of our guitars, it's a special run of our guitars. And at the same time, they're looking for somebody to make their regular Alvarez guitars. And lore has it that every Japanese Alvarez was made in the Yairi factory. So if you have a like a was it 5014 or 5022 Alvarez guitar could have been made in the Yairi factory. However, third-hand information from a decently reliable source says that Kazou Yairi said at some point in some interview or video that every Alvarez guitar that he ever made for Alvarez has his name on the label. 5022s didn't have Kazou Yairi's name on the label, and he was very proud of where he's from, Gifu, Japan. It's right behind the Takamine Mountain, or Takamine, mountain range that they have over there. That's where the Takamine plant is too. It's like the same side of the mountain as the Yairi facility. Okay, discrepancies. So, cedar or Sitka? To me it looks like Sitka, but I can dent it with my fingernail. So this guitar is advertised from 91, as having a cedar or a Sitka spruce top. And 1990, 89-90 catalog, it was advertised as having a Sitka spruce top. And Sitka spruce may very well be what it is, but I can't take my fingernail and dent the top of my Martin that I definitely know has a Sitka spruce top. Why wouldn't I trust the Yairi catalog for all that information? It's because the 89 DY53 was supposed to come out with a Okango or some shit like that. I think that's just a different form of cedar, pickguard, herringbone, rosette, ebony fingerboard, and snowflake inlays on the fingerboard. That's not what I got. No, that's not what I got. I got, I got a tortoiseshell, a damn nice celluloid tortoiseshell pickguard, one of the ones that I happen to like anyway. One fret marker, which I really enjoy. Don't like fret markers at all. And an abalone rosette. This combination doesn't seem to exist in any of the catalogs that surround the 1989 era. So when I'm looking at the catalogs online, I'll look at them online. Sometimes the way I'm doing that is I'm finding them for sale on eBay, or they have been for sale on eBay in the past, and I can bring up pictures, zoom in, and get my information that way. But DY53 in 1988, 89, they weren't advertised to be like this, and they weren't advertised to be exactly like this in 1990 either, or 91. 91 started getting, even a little bit more intricate, on the frets. The fret markers were like lines, like little bars, but they come from the top, or some of them come from the top, and then some of them come from the bottom. I don't know. Saw one for sale on eBay not too long. Guitar Center. Guitar Center had online. I had one used for $750, and it's gone. And dude, these are a bargain at that price range. I got 800 wrapped up in mine altogether. I couldn't be happier. Like I said, it's one of the cheapest acoustics that I actually have in the house. Now, that is price point as to what I paid for it. That's not going to be true. I got a Washburn that had a $1,100 MSRP, but it's got used stamped in the headstock, and I think it cost me $300. But yeah, this guitar, definitely my favorite. And if everything's going right, if we didn't have the used in the headstock on the Washburn, then this would be the cheapest guitar in the house, and I think it's the best built. The handmade elements of these Yairis are just phenomenal. I'm not paid by anybody, by the way. I just really enjoy their products. But calculations adjusted. With this being a solid body guitar, which wasn't advertised, it was advertised to be a laminate. So calculations adjusted for inflation. This guitar sold for $750 brand new in 1989 out of that catalog, and would currently run at about $2,750. Okay, so that's what the appointment is. So today, if it was made, it would be considered a Alvarez Yairi Masterworks. And those Masterworks, that's about where they start. It's about that close to $3,000 range. It does come with a hard shell case. I think I still got the original hard shell case. Goto tuners that are Yairi branded, Alvarez Yairi branded. Mother of pearl inlay on the, or abalone, one or the other. It's got a sparkle to it in certain lights, but anyway, yeah. All right, so ebony bridge, rosewood bridge, mahogany neck, rosewood back inside, solid. How I determine that is when we had it at Dan's, sorry Dan, if you ever watch this, but these marks, these dark marks, they're on the other side too. They're on the inside of the guitar, so it's got a solid back. Same can be said about the markings, you know, like these like this mark right here. It's in there. So let's have book match or laminate. I'm not saying that's impossible. I don't know, but well, it couldn't even be book match. It'd have to be. Hell, I don't know. But that's the most trusted way to figure out if you got a solid wood guitar or a laminate guitar. So yeah, like kind of advertised as supposed to be a laminate guitar. So I may have a special run for a specific supplier. That's something they did. I'm used to that in the knife community. Like I make knives and or you know tinker with knives. But the in the knife community we'll have, like, say Benchmade will come out with a special knife in a different color for Smoky Mountain Knife Works. You know, like, they'll come out with a certain amount of them, and that's the only place you can get them. You know, it'd be exclusive to that music store. So I don't know if that's the case, but I know the guy that I got it from, he said he bought it brand new in a little music store outside of Dexter, Missouri. And Dexter, Missouri is not too far from St. Louis, Missouri, which St. Louis Music actually owns Alvarez. Like, they're the ones that started the company up. And you want my serial number? Best of my knowledge, the Alvarez database, not sure if it's all totally accurate or not, but know about the serial numbers and all that stuff. It originally paper trails to a music store in Dexter, Missouri. So with it being close to home, it could have been a special run, but it isn't marked any other kind of way on the inside except for DY53. You'll see that some of them are DY53N, which means natural. I think this is pretty natural, but I don't know what would make it any more natural, unless it's doesn't have it's got like a matte finish instead of a nitro finish, or whatever they use. Whatever they use, let's bust a theory or two on Alvarez Yairi while I'm thinking about it. I have heard, so since I got this guitar and I thought I needed a neck reset, I picked it up on a gamble, thinking I was like, dude, I'm gonna have to spend some money on a neck reset, because like it's at that point, you know, like it's like 3 millimeters or something like that. It's 12 fret, and so I, you know, since I thought I needed a neck reset, started digging around on Reddit, found bunches of luthiers that said that Alvarez's can't be taken apart, the Yairis can't be taken apart, because they use epoxy on their neck joints, and they don't use a traditional dovetail, and all kinds of shit. Bad information, horrible information. This is not true. This is not true. They use hide glue. It's a proprietary hide glue that what that means is they make that hide glue in their shop in Gifu, Japan. That's it, man. It's a dark brown glue, just like hide glue is, you know. So it's that's what they use. They use a traditional dovetail. However, their tolerances may be a little tighter than Martin's. Like they're pretty specific on everything's handmade. They'll carve this dovetail down by hand. You can watch them do it on the factory tour. Suggest that everybody that ends up this late in this video at least watch that factory tour. They go over the dovetail being, you know, like they couldn't perfect it, so they were like, we can't make it better. We're gonna copy that idea, or we're gonna borrow that idea, that innovation. So Martin's dovetail, that's what they use. But like the way the dovetail slides in, you know, and connects to the neck plate inside the guitar, or the neck block. Sorry, it may not have as much room. Like it might be tighter in tolerance because they take a little bit off and try to slide it in, and they take a little bit more off and try to slide it in, you know, and they just keep on doing that until they get it. Where I'm sure a CNC machine is cutting out Martins, and it's probably got some wiggle room. So any neck, any body, that's not how these guitars are made. Like, you know, it's not like, so, attention to detail, I think these guitars are great, man. But yeah, all the discrepancies, like, you know, that you'll find, like they call this guitar a dreadnaught. Definitely not a dreadnought. We go over the OM, Grand Auditorium stuff, I believe, at the beginning of the video. I hope so. But yeah, bone nut, bone saddle, plastic pins, rosewood, ebony, mahogany, handshake neck, C to D profile, very comfortable. Couldn't be happier with it. I think it's got Alvarez or something to that extent. Double binding, which is supposed to be maple, according to the catalog. So, you know, there's just a lot of, there's even Alvarez or Yairi, you know, like either release this catalog with that intention and then changed gears, you know, somewhere in between. But I'm not saying the catalog called it a laminate body now. Like, this is things I'm hearing from other people. Some of the same people that said that an Alvarez Yairi can't be taken apart. You know, and you can find this information all over Reddit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Like, you know, like Dan Blum, like when I carried this to his shop and I was telling him what all I read, he was like, nah, man. He said, now some of the Japanese guitars that I've taken apart in the past that weren't necessarily Yairis have like dowels. I have like 5 dowels. You know, that instead of a dovetail, the neck is connected to the neck block with 5 dowel rods. So like everything's got to be lined up perfectly in order for it to go on there. And there were some Japanese brands back in the day that did use epoxy, and not Yairi. I heard a theory from another Yairi fan that said, this dude said, I think people that like Yairis come up with all these conspiracies on purpose. It's like, what other guitar costs $750 brand new in 1989 that you can pick up for $600 today? It's like the value's down because people think they're disposable. And that's kind of the feeling I had whenever I started hearing from these luthiers that you can't take a Yairi apart. It's impossible. Like, I was hearing, like, you take that fret out where it meets the body, and you drill a little hole up underneath the fret and put that syringe or whatever the hell needle thing it is and try to start feeding it steam to loosen that glue up. You just blow it up. You'll just blow it up, man. And that shit true. Like, no, it's interesting that like we have all these stigmas and all that stuff surrounding these guitars, but they are there. Regardless, man, if I missed anything, ask me in the comments. This is like the 9th time I've re-recorded this video, so I think I remember covering what I wanted to cover, but I may be remembering it from a previously recorded version of this video. So listen, you want to talk about it further? Hit me up in the comments. I can talk to you about this stuff all day. Subscribe if you want to. I won't be coming out with very many videos. I don't have a lot of acoustic guitars, and I'm basically focused on straight up information. You know, like, you don't need to hear me play. YouTube. The thing is with YouTube and sound quality and stuff, this is not a shot against YouTube, but we have a podcast on this channel, or on YouTube. We got, I can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Music. I can go to, you know, back to YouTube and listen to it, and the sound's not as good. That's just how it is. So like, if they're gonna take my SM57 and make it sound like a Radio Shack microphone anyway, then what's the point? You know, like just we'll just give them the most natural, basic point-to-point, you know, sound quality that we can. That's straight from the guitar to the camera on the phone, which is a Galaxy S Ultra something or another. Anyway, yeah, man. Won't be a whole lot of videos. I'll do videos on guitars as I learn about them and I acquire them. That I'm not going to be a major collector. My wife is going to put me out if I get another one. So without getting rid of something first. So yeah, not going to be like a major channel. That's going to be like, don't even have the, I don't have the aspirations for it. I just want to give you information on guitars as I find it, because it is impossible to find good videos on information about guitars. So I can help that realm out where I can with the guitars that I come in contact with. So that's the goals for the channel. You guys have a good one. We'll catch you on the flip side.